My name is Jen Cushman. I am an empathic intuitive. I'm an energy practitioner. I'm also certified in I'm certified in neurolinguistic programming, mental emotional release, and hypnotherapy. And you guys, I'm also an art therapy coach. I don't know if I told you that before. So I've got all those things going on right now. And the deck I'm going to be working with today, later when we do it, is my joyful deck. It's called Joyful, Joyfull, the joyful deck for creatives, healers, and feelers. And I do have some of those available on my website at Soul Star Magic if you want to be able to use them as a daily intuition check-in for you. Okay. Okay. Oh, goodness. Let me stop really quick. Sherry, this says you're here with your mother-in-law who's 99 today. Happy birthday, Sherry, mother-in-law. Make sure you put her name in there if she wants it, so everybody can wish her a wonderful, wonderful birthday today. So 99, that's awesome. I know probably everybody asks her, but what's your secret? I would love to know, what is your secret of staying happy and healthy and whole with everything, your mind intact, your body intact, and everything working well at 99? So ask her for me, Sherry, and put it down in the chat because inquiring minds want to know. Okay. Okay. Good. Hello, Victoria. Nice to see you with mom and family. Okay. Okay, you guys. So what I want to talk about today is something that I haven't done in a while. So I have been doing, I've been doing a lot more of the mindset talks lately. That is what has been happening. Hi, Jill. So nice to see you. You guys, welcome Jill to our community. So I just spent a couple of days with Jill, hanging out with her and my two friends, Lori, and I know her. So you guys, welcome Jill to the community and say hello. So, okay. Okay, you guys, enough with the hellos. I could talk to you forever, but I got to get started. And remember that it is done, edited on YouTube, where I edit out this first little bit of chatting. So anybody wants to get right to it and watch the replay. Okay. Back to topic at hand. So I have not talked a lot about the planetary influences for a while. Now, remember, I am not an astrologer. I'm not the greatest at it. I know a little bit about it, but just kind of through osmosis. I have one of my very, very good friends, Denise Stargazer, who is a friend of mine and a mentor and a close friend. She is the bomb at astrology. She knows all the planets and the alignments and the sextiles and all of that kind of stuff. So if anybody is really interested in astrology and you want to learn more about it, I highly, highly recommend Denise Stargazer. Okay. Now, the other person I follow because of Denise's recommendation is an Australian woman, and her name is Elizabeth Peru. And for over 20 years, she's been writing something called The Tip Off. Most of her community are professional working intuitives, healers, light workers, and most of us are working in the community to do that. So the information I'm going to give you is really coming from Elizabeth Peru with a little bit of Jill, and then with my own meditation, with my team chiming in there on the personal level, because I always believe in as above, so below. So whatever is going on out there, it's really important that we pull it down into our life and it's relevant for us, because if not, then it's just information. But the information that helps us is the best information. Okay. So one of the things I want to talk about right now is that tonight is the super full moon. Okay, we've got a full moon tonight. I love full moons, right? And it is the first of a super full moon of the next 4 moons. So what that means when it says that it's a super full moon, it means that the moon is the closest to the earth right now that it can possibly be. And when you have a super full moon, it means it's super close to us. It means that the moon's planetary energies are at the highest possible point to affect us, and particularly those of us that are sensitive. Okay. So remember, the moon is divinely feminine energy, and it is also the realm of intuition and emotion. In the Angel Tarot card or the Tarot card, whenever you get the moon card, you know that you are in for a period of massive, massive intuition. It's also an amazing time that your guides, your angels, your spirit team can give you downloads. And so it's a great time, just on a functional level, just to mark full moon on your calendar and new moon on your calendar. I know some of you on here have particular religions where you work with the moon cycles, or spirituality, so you work deeply with the moon. I don't work that deeply with the moon, other than that I put it on my calendar. I make sure that I note what it is. And on full moons, I make sure that I'm doing release work. And on new moons, I'm making sure that I'm doing new beginnings work to call in the energy for the next month at hand. Now, sometimes I'll do a ritual, which means I'll light incense, I'll say a prayer, I'll go into meditation, I'll ask my guides and angels for more information. And sometimes, truthfully, my life is just so busy that the only thing I really can do is take 3 deep breaths, put my hand on my heart, center, and then just do whatever release work I need to do. For tonight, one of the things I'm definitely going to do, and for the next 4 super full moons, is I am going to do my release work process. That is with Huna, and that is my Ho'oku'u process. And that is the process that I know to release negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and limiting decisions. And I'm telling you, you guys, it works like that. When you work on an energetic and spiritual level, things happen so quickly, so much more faster than if you're working on the mental, emotional, or physical levels. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. Okay. Back to the full moon. So with it being a super full moon, I just want you to know that, again, release work is what is important. It means that when the full moon is happening, the stuff that has come up, just the daily stuff of life, right? The minor irritations. I talk about this almost, I think, you guys, isn't it almost every single Magic Mondays that I talk about release work? That's how important it is to me. It just is daily life. Daily human life is messy. It's dirty, right? We have thoughts, we have emotions, we interact with other people, we have our triggers that happen, we have, dumb little things, we have flat tires, we have, toilet seats. Yesterday, my daughter broke the handle off of the toilet, right? So, Greg's got basically a wood underneath the toilet seat right now, a piece of wood. So just to let everybody know, don't go in there, okay? That's what I mean by the little scuffs of life, right? The little dirt of life. And that stuff happens all the time. Now, the thing is when the stuff happens, we have mental thoughts, we have emotional thoughts, we have energy around it. And that is the kind of stuff that sticks. It sticks in us. It's the Hawaiians call them little black bags. It is the energy, the negative emotions, the irritation, the frustration, the anger. Maybe you're talking to a friend like I did this last week, and I found out that her breast cancer has come back for the second time, and she asked me to work with her, and I'm very, very honored to work with her, and I will be working with her. And still, the human in me got a little sad for that, because I'm sad for her, because I know she's going through a major health challenge. Now, I 100% believe she's going to be able to beat it, because she beat it once, she can beat it again. And she has an amazing mindset. So it's okay. I'm followed by hope, and I still have that sadness. So that sadness is in there. It's a negative emotion. It's a little bit of a black bag. Release work will help clean that up and take it out of there. You guys, one of the best ways to consider a full moon is the energetic car wash. It really is true. So if you just think about it as that the moon is coming down, it's closest to the earth. You can literally go outside in the evening and stand underneath of it and be bathed in the light of the moon. And you can just think of it in your mind as an energetic car wash. And then you can see all of that. And again, this is my sensitives here, my empaths. I know you guys, you can go in your mind's eye and you can create the scenario and you can feel it. You're amazing at guided meditations and hypnotherapy. You're wonderful at it. So you can just feel, standing outside, feel the moon's rays coming in and bathing you, and really ask to release those negative emotions, ask to release the minor irritations, the anger, the sadness, the fear, the guilt, the shame, the arguments, the the things that happen. Again, you guys, I'm raising a teenage daughter. Do you know how many times in a month I get an eye roll, or I get a sass back, or I get something? I mean, I always have something to release on the full moon. Trust me. I love my daughter. She is amazing, and she is a great girl, and she is a teenager. So there is always something to release. Okay. Okay. Let me go over to my notes here, and I just want to make sure I have what I want you to do. So, so the other thing, so what is important, this is from Elizabeth Peru now, and I'm moving over to her information. And it's so great because when I double checked with my guide, so I listen to what Elizabeth says, I listen to what other people are saying, and then I always go in with my own team and my own meditations to just gut check it, make sure that what I am hearing is correct, and ask my team if they want to put their own spin on anything or their own different way of looking at before I come out and talk to you guys about it. Okay. But that's just so you know, that's how I work at Integrity. And that's how I make sure that I am being authentically in my truth. So back to Elizabeth. Elizabeth is saying that, with this particular super full blue moon, it is the blue moon this month, it is shining brightly down from below and above. And what a lot of you guys may be feeling, again, creatives, healers, and feelers, my people, what you might really be feeling right now is that this moon is really highlighting and illuminating your higher path purpose. Okay. So if you have been contemplating for a bit, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? What was I brought on here on earth to do? And if you're having any quandaries on that, if it feels as if nothing's going, if there's a lack of clarity around it, this particular moon can really help, open up the way and shine a spotlight on your purpose and your path. And the simplest way to work with spirit is to simply ask. You just hold your hand to your heart, left over the first one, divine feminine, masculine right over the top. And then what you do is you just simply ask the universe, source, spirit, energy, your higher self, angels, guides, whatever comes in, whatever works with you, just ask for guidance that you need. And then once you ask, pay attention to the subtle signs and symbols that come in, okay? Spirit does not communicate us the way we communicate with each other. It is not that direct. You need to really pay attention to the subtle vibrations and the subtle signs that are around you, okay? So it's a great time to illuminate your path right now, and that is really good. If you are having any quandaries again over that, and you're just like, oh, Jen, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. It all feels cloudy. So here's a great thing, here's a great tip. When you excuse me, hang on, drink. Got rolling. Okay, so when you have your hand on your heart and you're petitioning, you're asking your team to be able to show more clarity to you, and you're feeling a little lost on purpose, what you can do is you can put your hand on your heart, you can close your eyes, and you can ask your team, say, what is my greater purpose? Show me messages to discover my high vibration, and what is the outlet that I need to imply my high vibration innate skills and talents to. Give me a sign of what that is and what I can do to help it. Okay. Okay, great. And then, here's the other thing that I want to read you this directly from Elizabeth, because this is really good. She says, perhaps you're seeing the light and you're really realizing that if your life is to change for the better, then there are decisions to be made and followed. And she's got an exclamation point after followed. I love that, right? Excuse me. This particular supermoon places an emphasis upon listening to the voice within and then making the choice to apply your own intuitive advice, your own intuitive advice. And I really wanted to read you her words directly, because I say this a lot and it bears repeating. So one of the things that happens a lot is that if we are into it, let's say we're like, okay, I'm going to do what Jen says, or I'm going to do what the other healer says, or I'm going to do what my higher self says, and I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to get quiet, I'm going to quiet the mind, I'm going to put my hand on my heart, and I'm going to ask. I'm going to have a conversation with spirit, and I'm going to ask my team to come in. Well, here's one of the things that happens because we are so human, right? So we do all the prep work, we do all the work, we do everything we need to do. And then our team gives us an intuitive hit, right? It gives us a whisper, a nudge, a thought. Another person who we love says something and gives us the name or a contact or a resource, exactly what we need at the moment. And then we may have that initial thing that's like, huh, that's weird, or I'm not convinced, and that is our conscious brain overriding our intuition. That's what that really is. I recently did a talk at Noli's locally. I did a local talk, and it really was about trusting your gut. And I was telling people from a neuroscience way that our intuition comes into our limbic system, our amygdala. It's the oldest part of our brain. It is the brain that began when humans have brain. And that is pure emotion. So it comes into that amygdala, and it comes in as truth, as a hit. And then what has happened over the years as humans have evolved, our technology's evolved, our information has evolved, is that our neocortex, our thinking part of our brain, our critical faculties of our brain will override our intuition. And particularly because we have a very Newtonian way of looking at the world, which is intuition and ancient times got shoved into the past as science started to come on board. And then science started to come on and say, well, we can't prove it, so therefore it's false. Well, it's not false because science can't prove it. It's just that science can't prove it. And now over time, science has gotten a lot better because the technology has got better. The instruments have gotten finer. We're able to understand quantum physics. Quantum physics has been very well known for over 25 years now. We know that everything is energy. We know that what happens is our intuition is in our amygdala, and then our neocortex overrides it. We know all of this stuff. And so it's a call. I believe it is a call to go back to using those ancient ways in modern technology to bring them together so that we can be that fully realized human. And so having our intuition, asking our guides and our angels for help, seeking our higher self, using it for more information is all for nothing if we don't follow through. Okay, we need to listen to the messages and follow through. And I'm going to ask you right now to be a one-time convincer. It means that when you have that information comes in, you're convinced, okay, this is good. I don't need spirit to keep hitting me over the head with a 2x4. I don't need to be a 2-time convincer or a 3-time convincer or a 4-time convincer. Because in that time that spirit is taking to hit us over the head with a 2x4 is time wasted and lost when we could be following our intuition and getting back to our life purpose path. Does that make sense? I hope you guys are getting that. They're telling me, they're like, yes, I'm getting the angel wave in the football stadium right now. So my team is giving me the angel wave, which means that is right. So hopefully this is landing with all of you and you're getting it. Okay. Okay. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat right now. So let me go on to one more thing I just want to tell you. So, oh, the other thing that I really want to talk to you about is that with this super full moon, this is what Elizabeth said, and this is also following up Denise said, is that this is, with it happening 3 times in a row, we're opening the door on a 3-month period where any untenable situations are brought to a head. Soul is guiding you on a path that is benefiting your shining highest potential. So you guys, if things have been in the works for a while and you're not getting resolution on them, okay? This is the time. The cosmic energies are there to really help bring it up so that things come to a head. Now, remember what happens when a pimple is forming, okay? So when a boil's forming, when a pimple's forming, a lot of pressure, when a diamond diamond is forming, let's put it that way, so it's more pretty, okay? When those are forming, an incredible amount of pressure is happening underneath the surface. So the pressure is building and building and building and building so that the diamond can get formed, or the pimple can pop, or something can come to the head. So right now, for the next couple of months, we are in a pressure cooker. Now, I've talked about it from the last couple of Magic Mondays, what my team has talked about with me. We are in a collective pressure cooker right now, particularly in the United States, particularly with the elections coming up, the changes that are taking place there globally with, what's happening globally. There is a pressure cooker right now. And a lot of us, particularly sensitives, are going to feel like we're in that pressure cooker. We will feel the anxiety start to rise. We'll feel ourselves being more tired. Last night, you guys, I could not sleep. I was hot and I was restless. And when I woke up this morning, Greg said to me, he's like, you slept in. And I'm like, no, I didn't really sleep in. I just didn't actually get to sleep very well until almost 4:30 in the morning. Now, being sensitive, that happens a lot with me right before the full moon. My sleep is disrupted and it's interrupted. Now, I know if I remember I can go in before I go to bed and I can ask my angels and guides to please help give me a good sleep and have a good night's sleep so that I rest. And even if I'm doing astral traveling or I'm healing the world or I'm doing whatever I'm doing out there or learning, that my body can still rest. And I forget. You guys, I have so many tools in my toolbox. I often forget to use my tools. It's like having a beautiful chef's kitchen where everything is neat and in place. And I have every potential, gadget that I can possibly want, every kitchen thing to make things beautiful. And all I do is grab the knife over and over again. So, I'm human, I forget. So if you feel as though you've been in a pressure cooker lately, just know that it is also cosmic forces are at play. Okay. Now, it doesn't give you a pass. You can't just be like, okay, well, I'm just going to go to bed and put the cover over my head because the energies are wild and I can't hand it. And I'm a sensitive, wah, 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 smallest violin in the world. Sorry, you guys, we're here. We're here for human beings. We're here for the full range of experiences. And part of understanding our sensitivities is knowing that we have an incredible amount of resilience, and that with the knowledge and the tools and the self-care, we can rise above it. Yes, it may be challenging, but we can rise above it because we are light workers and we're here for a purpose and we're here to do a job. Okay, so that's my little bit of Mama Tough love coming at you. And we all need a little bit of Mama Tough love. Okay. And then the only other thing I want to tell you about, and I'll get going, is just for this Wednesday that we have, is that coming this Wednesday, what she said is life can now heat up on all fronts. It may become obvious to that you're cleansing and clearing whatever pushes back against your choice to rise into higher consciousness. Over the next 2 weeks, I deeply recommend that you act upon what challenges you. Do it now before the eclipse season begins. This way you can hold yourself in good stead in a fruitful transformational beginning September 4th to October 17th. Okay. That means that, we've got these eclipse seasons coming up. And then also she talks about Venus being in there, and that Venus is fully the feminine, divine feminine energy. She is pure water. She is pure love, and she is really there. So as our stuff is rolling, as those things are coming up that must go away because they are stopping us, just know that Mama Venus is wrapping us in, in a cloak of love and light, and that it is safe for us to have our emotions. It is safe as a sensitive to talk about our emotions, share our emotions, and let them roll. Okay. And that, remember, if it's coming up to be released, it's for a purpose. I love release work now. I can feel release. I can feel the weight and the stones that I've been carrying around lifted off my body energetically. And I've actually come to crave it. I know that when the things that I have resistance to, when I'm pushing back against them, it's pushing back against me. And it's not doing anything. When I can soften and I can just deal with what is, rather than dealing with the resistance or clinging to what I want, then I can get into that space where I can more easily allow it to release. And that allows me to have more good days and less bad days. It's an amazing tool, and it's an amazing way of thinking about the world. Again, resistance, when you're getting resistance, you're pushing against something and it's pushing back. Resistance also happens when you're clinging to something. No, that is not the way it's supposed to be. I want it to be this way. It was this way. Oh my gosh, it was so good when it was this way. Can't I just have it this way again? I don't know. You may be able to get, or you may not, because energy changes. Energy is constantly moving, and the past is the past, the present is the present, the future is the future. We can't always recreate the past. We just need to live in the present and create the future. Okay. Okay, you guys, I think that's enough for now. I mean, Elizabeth has some more great information. Again, if you guys are really, really into this, and you have an extra, $100 a year, I think it's $97 for the year. I would suggest you go ahead and subscribe to her tip off. She doesn't do anything free, so she's not really there. You can follow her on Instagram, but really she saves all of her juicy stuff for her subscribers. She has a huge, huge community, so she's able to do that. And when it's appropriate, when I read it and I really feel like it's something very important cosmically, I use her information as a reference and I share it with you guys. So please know that I will always share what I feel is incredibly important. And again, after talking to my team. Okay.